Hi, this is Dr. Ashok Gavaskar, and I would be demonstrating the surgical technique video of how to do a posteromedial tibial plateau ORIF. This is a young male who had a motor vehicle accident resulting in a bicondylar fracture pattern. You can see a simple posteromedial split component and a more complex lateral side. His skin was okay and he was planned for a single stage ORIF. CT scan shows the single large posteromedial fracture fragment extending distally and also a large extent towards the lateral side. You can look at the lateral injury being more complex with a split depression component. A conventional posteromedial exposure was performed with the patient lying supine. Skin superficial tissues are taken down to expose the deep fascia. The deep fascia is incised in line with the skin incision, keeping in mind the underlying pes tendons. The hamstring tendons are further mobilized to facilitate exposure and retract them on either side. The plane between the medial gastrocnemius and the semimembranosus is developed next. This is the medial gastroc being mobilized, and as you can go proximally, you can identify the semimembranosus tendon right there. After this, the popliteus soleus complex is slowly taken off subperiosteally from the proximal posterior tibia. As you go more and more laterally, you got to be cognizant of the femoral neurovascular structures and you have to stay strictly subperiosteal. This exposes the fracture. As you can see, the fracture lines coming into vision. The exposure is extended laterally, keeping in mind the large lateral extent of this fracture fragment. The fracture planes are further mobilized to facilitate reduction. The limb is brought into extension. The fracture is clamped and held in place by using an asymmetric pelvic clamp. You can appreciate fracture reduction and clamp placement here. Once reduced, fixation is performed by using anteroposterior subarticular lag screws. In this case, 3.5 screws are used. 2 screws are used, placed more towards the midline, keeping in mind the large lateral extent of this fracture fragment. Once screws are inserted, they are strong enough to hold this fracture in place so that you can slowly bring the limb to flexion to facilitate posteromedial plating. The plate is positioned, and once the position is confirmed, a screw is placed just distal to the fracture apex to provide the necessary anti-glide effect. The screw is measured and then a 3.5 millimeter cortical screw is placed, pushing the plate towards the fracture to provide the necessary buttress effect. The C-arm image confirms plate placement and good fracture reduction. Further screws are placed distally so as to provide rotational stability and also to secure the fracture. In good quality bone, locking screws are not necessary. No fixation is normally necessary towards the proximal position of the plate. So this image shows appropriate plate positioning, fracture reduction, and you can go on to the lateral side. These are the post-operative images showing good fracture reduction and healing at 6 months. There's another case, a 35-year-old male, just to show you the more complex posteromedial injury pattern. This patient had a bicondylar fracture with a lot of swelling, so he was planned for a stage reconstruction with external fixator, after which a definitive ORIF can be done.
There are three articular fragments on the medial side. If you want to reduce the posteromedial condyle in this case, it is important to re-establish the articular relationship between these fragments and also correct varus. To do that, you might require access to the articular surface to visualize a reduction. This can be done by splitting the medial collateral ligament longitudinally without disturbing it too much. If it is posterior enough, then an arthrotomy is much simpler. So once articular reduction is achieved, lag screws from anterior to posterior will secure reduction, followed by plate application on the medial column to correct varus, followed by posteromedial and anteromedial plating to buttress the remaining fragments.
Again, the same posteromedial approach is performed. You can appreciate the greater extent of soft tissue injury in this case. The hamstring tendons are mobilized. And the popliteus soleus complex is mobilized subperiosteally from the posterior tibia. You can appreciate the displacement between the proximal and distal fragments, and also appreciate the completely mobile distal fragment devoid of any attachment to the proximal fragment. The hamstring tendons are tagged for retraction. In this case, the split between the posteromedial fragment and the anterior fragment was posterior to the deep MCL attachment, so a simple arthrotomy was performed. K-wires were placed into those two fragments to act as joysticks to help in reduction. You can see K-wire placements into those two fragments in this image. These two fragments are joysticked into place. This can be helped by further mobilization. This is the posteromedial fragment. That is the more anterior fragment. So once they are brought into place and reduced, they are held in place by using an anterior to posterior place K-wire. This is followed by lag screw fixation from anterior to posterior. Two screws are placed to facilitate articular reduction. Now a sham spin from anterior to posterior is placed more distally to correct the sagittal plane deformity and hold reduction in place. Once reduction is performed, the first plate that we place is the medial column plate. Screws are placed first in the distal segment to help in correcting coronal alignment, and once correction of varus is confirmed, screws are placed into the proximal fragment. CM image confirms good correction of varus. Next we go ahead with posteromedial plate application. Screw is placed distal to the apex to provide anti-glide effect. You can appreciate good fracture reduction and fixation after posteromedial plate fixation. Fixation is further completed by adding an anteromedial buttress plate to stabilize the anterior-most fragment on the medial side. This is the postoperative X-ray at 4 months demonstrating good articular reduction, alignment, and fracture healing. Thank you.